Stangibelisco here. Recently I received, I believe it was an email or maybe a comment in a different video where I allowed comments, where someone complained about my talking heads videos being blurry. They said something to the effect that, would you please focus your camera? Looking at your blurry face like that is giving me a headache. And it is true that my talking heads videos are generally blurry compared to, for example, videos that include schematic diagrams and other fine detail, technical detail. I figure that my face doesn't really require a lot of technical detail in order to be sufficiently visible for the purposes of making a video. Well, why not make it clear anyway, you may ask. And the reason for that is that this particular computer, which is a notebook computer, just happens to run Windows 10, but that really doesn't have anything to do with the blurriness of the videos. It's a low resolution camera. That's all there is to it. It can't render a lot of detail. And as a result of that low resolution, that low pixel count, I'm not sure exactly what it is, but as a result, the bandwidth, or the number of megabytes that the video consumes per unit time, is greatly minimized, making it load much faster on all kinds of devices, and still allowing for enough detail to be reasonably clear on a lot of the devices that people use to watch my talking heads videos. That is to say, smartphones, things with very small screens where the blurriness is not a particular matter of concern. I realize that this can be annoying if you're trying to figure out exactly how well I've shaven that day, or whether or not that little dot on my face really is a pimple, whatever, whether or not that thing crawling across my face is an ant or a fly, or something like that. Little details like that are not important in talking heads videos. The only thing that really matters, for the most part, is that you hear my voice clearly and understand the point of the video. You could just as well cover the screen up and get as much out of the video as you would if you watched my yammering mug. So I don't attribute my face a great deal of importance when it comes to rendering detail. However, if I'm going to do a video that has a complicated schematic diagram in it, and that requires a lot of detail, I'll generally use higher resolution and a special screen capture program that saves bandwidth, because the schematic isn't moving, whereas my face is. It's a matter of making it easy for as many devices as possible to download and view my videos. The high resolution videos are normally 1080p, that's 1080 pixels measured vertically, whereas I'm not exactly certain what this one, for example, is, only 240 or something quite low. But you may need to see all of the little details of the capacitors and the schematic symbols and other such things. You will need to see them in the schematic diagram, but you don't need to see my eyelashes. You don't need to see whether I have too many nose hairs. You don't need to see those kinds of things in videos like this. But in order to render my moving mouth and moving face and details of a video like this requires in order to obtain decent bandwidth, quick loading bandwidth, it requires that the resolution be greatly reduced. So that is my excuse for my blurry head, besides the fact that my thoughts and my attitudes are generally rather blurry anyway, when all I'm doing is looking at you and telling you things like this. Well, I just thought you'd like to know that, if you were wondering. I think it's the only time anybody's ever commented on the focusing of the camera on these videos, but that's your answer, sir. Take it or leave it. Stangibelisco signing off. Until next time, so long.